There is a huge debate online about business models. And, I have shared my perspective on this, that I don't think there's a right thing. I think there's a right thing for you. Lots of different business models work. Lots of different price points work. There's 1,000 ways that you can slice, dice, and profit in a business, right? But I do think that there are different personalities and different mentalities that work better or worse in a specific situation. Now, we're not going to get into that quite yet, but I just want to preface it by saying that when you think about evaluating your next evolution, I think it's important to, number one, go through the type of exercise that you would do at the very beginning of starting your business. What is most important to you in your life right now? What are your top 3 priorities in the next 3 to 5 years? What do you want your day-to-day life to look like? I would pause this episode and I would actually answer those 3 questions. What are your top life priorities? What are your goals in the next 3 to 5 years? What do you want your day-to-day life to look like? What do you see as your true calling? I love The Alchemist so much, and I love how they refer to your personal legend, right? And if you haven't read The Alchemist, or if it's been a little while, go back and read it again. But I believe so deeply that our life is a journey of first figuring out what our personal legend is, and then acting and living in pursuit of that for the rest of our lives. I also believe that our personal legend shifts and evolves and grows and changes as we shift and evolve and grow and change, because we can't possibly have the perspective at 50 years old, that we have at 60 years old, or at 40 years old that we would have at 50 years old. It's a moving target over the course of your life with these eras building on one another. And I love the word era because it's like ushering in the new, ushering in what's next. And this is how this feels for me right now in this journey of going from, I built this 8-figure business. I went through all this crazy stuff. I went to hell and back. I came out the other side. I had to rename my company, rebrand everything because I couldn't use the word entrepreneur in anything that I was doing anymore. Came out the other side, realized, I thought I had one dream of, building this one company to 100 million. No, I'm actually meant to help people in all these different ways. And there's all these different components of what this looks like. And, now I'm building this portfolio of businesses, and it looks totally different for all of us. For some of you, you may have thought your calling was to build this global enterprise. And maybe you feel like your calling is to go deep with just a handful of people, right? Or, maybe you thought your calling was to help people get this like massive result in this high ticket program. And now you realize like, you really just want to be on the front end of inspiring and educating, and you don't want to do that deep work on the back end with them. Like, there are so many different approaches to fulfilling calling and to fulfilling purpose and to making a difference. And it can look so different. And that's where I think the danger in the online marketing world is that everyone is telling you what the right thing is for you, when ultimately only you can know what the right thing is for you. People like me can present different models, different ideas, different ways that you can go about getting the outcome that you say that you want, but you don't want to abdicate the power of deciding what's right for you. I think it's very, very important that you retain ownership of that. There's this huge debate about lifestyle businesses versus scaling. And there's one movement that really talks about building a lean team and almost like a people-free company, that hinges on automation, or that hinges on, tech and is very hands-off. And then there's another movement that's all about, scaling and building your empire, building a winning team, really helping hundreds, thousands of people. And there's kind of these two conflicting movements. And I think people are really kind of confused, and it's very frustrating and overwhelming to try and figure out what is the right thing for you. And, I think there's some things to consider, and there's no right or wrong, right? You can build a beautiful business where you service a handful of clients, super high ticket, and you work 20 hours a week.